cut your black here. I come in for Christmas dinner. Shoot potters make me shiver. As soon as it's done, I come in for piece of black here. I come in for Christmas dinner. Shoot potters make me shiver. As soon as it's done, I come in to cut your black here. I come in for Christmas dinner. Shoot potters make me shiver. As soon as it's done, I come in for piece of black here. Smelling it, smelling it, smelling. I'm smelling it, I'm smelling it, man. I'm smelling, I'm smelling, I'm smelling. I'm smelling the Christmas pudding. I'm smelling the Christmas cooking. I'm smelling, I'm smelling, I'm smelling, I'm smelling, I'm smelling. Hey, let me. Yeah, I'm coming for Christmas. I'm coming for the Christmas cooking. Oh, I'm coming for the Christmas pudding. Yeah, Christmas everybody. Let's go Christmas pudding and have that bacon. Oh. Yeah, I'm coming for Christmas dinner. Have that bacon. Make sure you have some water. He's just coming the toilet. Christmas dinner, shoot potters make me shiver. As soon as it's done, I come in to cut your black here.
Studios located in the capital city of St. John's, Antigua in the Caribbean Sea.
Okay, stop that.
And our transmitter located at the highest point, Bunny Peak in the parish of St. Mary. This is ZDK Liberty Radio International, 97.1 FM, the People's Radio Station.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's get ready to rumble!
Yeah, I told you, you have to stand for something. Sometimes, at the time, you might think, hey, yo, it might be a lot of vibes and things and so, but yo, you stand up, man. You have to stand up as a man, you know. Any man that can't stand up for what they believe in, then the word, the silence, and walk over just.
Say that again.
Yeah, I told you.
Say that again.
Any man that can't stand up for what they believe in, you hear? I'm saying the word, the silence, and walk over.
Tell them no, I'm nobody's Negro. I only promoting truth that they cannot refute. I tell them no, definitely no, I'm nobody's Negro. Righteousness is my best friend, ethics and morals I defend them. I tell them no, no damn reward could turn me so. Yesterday, today, tomorrow. Nobody's Negro, no, no, no. Oh my, oh Lord. But I'm a riggy diggy tabby diggy 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 diggy. Oh Lord, oh Lord. Biddy biddy dabba 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 biddy biddy dabba 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 dabba.
I've seen some valleys, I've walked through some darkness, waded through rivers of grief. Oh, the enemy told me that I was forsaken, no one was fighting for me. But I didn't make it.
Let me just say good night, Antigua Barbuda. Hey, good night to our Caribbean neighbors who are locked into 97.1 ZDK Liberty Radio. Let me say good night to St. Kitts and Nevis, Anguilla, hey, Montserrat. Hey, good night to Dominica, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Barbados, hey, the Spice Islands, Grenada, Guyana, and going as far down south as Trinidad and Tobago.
When God's on my side.
To those who have joined us via the World Wide Web, you might have joined us via the website. That's www.radiozdk.com. Or you very well might have joined us via Facebook Live at ZDK Liberty Radio 97.1. Welcome aboard to the Saturday night edition of Real Talk, 18th of November 2023. Boy, we really need some real talk around this place.
For you to follow.
Scripture to cover tonight's program
You think you can.
is taken from the book of Daniel. Daniel chapter 5 verses 24 to 28.
And you'll never make it.
And you know, as I said all the time,
In this fight.
as is my my practice, once I begin to prepare for the program, I say a prayer
To trust Lord
and call on the Almighty to give me a text.
what He's always done.
Boy, it never amazed me how the Almighty works.
He's never failed me.
Text for tonight, as I said, is taken from Daniel chapter 5, 24 to 28.
It's already.
Then the hand was sent from him, and this inscription was written out. Now this is the inscription that was written out. Mene, Tekel Upharsin. That is the interpretation. This is the interpretation of the message. Meaning, God has numbered your kingdom and put an end to it. Tekel, you have been weighed on the scales and found deficient. Perez, your kingdom has been divided and given to the Medes and the Persians.
When
let's go over that again.
But I did
Daniel chapter 5, verses 24 to 28.
gone. Though often
I don't want to do this slowly.
it is all gone.
24. Then the hand was sent from him,
Keep
and this inscription was written out.
his promise.
Now, this is the inscription that was written out.
Oh,
Mene, Mene, Tekel,
God is
Upharsin. And this is the interpretation of the message.
and again.
Mene, God has numbered your kingdom and put an end to it. Tekel,
When God's on
you have been weighed on the scales and found deficient.
just me and Jesus.
Perez, your kingdom has been divided and given over to the Medes and the Persians. The word of God coming to us from the book of Daniel, Daniel chapter 5, verses 24 to 28. Hey, thanks for the word, Almighty. Let me say a special good night to Miss Patricia Gums. Hey, how you doing, Miss Gums? Hope and trust that all is going good with you. Hey, to my little sister Nicole and her family over there in the Mount Pleasant area. To my other sisters. Hey, Bridget and Nola. Hey, big up yourself, guys. Oh, girls. Oh, ladies. Hey, to my many nieces. Joan, Bernadette, and my many nephews. Hey, good night, Zian. Also to Austin. Big up yourself. Cousin Annette. Anna James Brown over in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Good night to you. And also to Halima Thomas. That's cousin Halima Thomas over in Orlando, Florida. Hey, big up yourself. Hey, to my second mom up there in the Potters, East Berlin area up there. What was it? Stepmother, that is. That's Miss Christophine Lewis. Hey, good night to you. Hey, to my second mom in the States. That's Sister Jean Goldston. Hey, good night, Sister Jean. Hey, what's up, Jomo? Big up yourself. And right back here in Antigua. Hey, let me say good night to Loretta Hunt over there in the Nut Grove area. Hey, what's up, Loretta? We haven't spoken in quite a while. Also, hey to my other second mom down yonder, Cassie. Hey, how you doing, Cassie? I think you have a birthday coming up soon. Advance birthday greetings going out to you. And also, let me just say,
Think you can't go.
hey, a special good night.
People tell you that you'll never
Hey, to Mrs. Winifred Christopher and her family down there in the Cooksville area.
get on.
Bamsey! I hope and trust that all is going good.
Fit
Good night to you.
to trust or to doubt. Just remember what he's always done. Yeah, he's never failed me, and he never will. And the battle
Ah, yes.
is over.
Hey, you're listening to ZDK Liberty Radio 97.1.
If God is for me,
Oh, yes.
who can stand against me? No weapon shall prosper when God's on my side. If it's just me and Jesus, I can't be defeated. When my God is with me, I've got the victory every time.
Every time. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Bye. 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 Oh. Some of them will stay. And you're not gonna stay. I do they say what they say. Alana, you see a one. Jah comes first. No, we do. Alana, you see a one. Jah comes first. Yes. Alana, you see a one. Jah comes first. No, we do. Alana, you see a one. Jah comes first. Yes. Jah gave us our talents to survive and glorify His name. Some things we do will be to their surprise, so they bring our names to shame. Some will have so much to say when they're talking off their face, but we will be strong always and endure the pain. Tell them, say no judge with you, a pretty girl. Or how much girl you see and we apart. Why should we not have these lovely things when Rastafari bless us with everything? All and all you see I want, Jah comes first. And all we do, all and all you see I want, Jah comes first. Yes. All and all you see I want, Jah comes first. And all we do, all and all you see I want, Jah comes first.
Enough things them talk about I and I. Still we show them Jah love, no lie. Strength we gain when they inflict pain. Sun shines after rain. We will hold our heads up high, cause we know that Jah is on our side. There is only one rule to maintain. Jah comes first in everything.
All and all you see I want, Jah comes first. All we do, all and all you see I want, Jah comes first. All and all you see I want, Jah comes first. All we do, all and all you see I want, Jah comes first.
From a little cottage in number 3 Casada Gardens hails Rags to Rugs. 100% handmade Antiguan interwoven rag rugs by J. Lissa Lewis. We have various sizes of floor rugs, decorative wall hanging rugs, and table mats, uniquely and sustainably handmade. To purchase, send us a message via WhatsApp at 268-770-8088 for directions to our physical location, or we can deliver to you anywhere on Antigua absolutely free. Like and follow us on Facebook at Rags to Rugs Antiguan Made, on Instagram Rags to Rugs, or you can email us at ragstorugs@gmail.com. Don't forget, our rag rugs and table mats are machine washable and dryable. See you soon.
Elaine and Dad's Joseph Consultancy. We consult on labor relation matters, insurance, business matters, and politics. P.O. Box 2287, Francis Lane, Yorks Village, St. John's, Antigua Barbuda. Our email address, it's Elaine and Dad's Joseph @gmail.com. Telephone numbers 776-0200 or 464-4201. Contact us. We are here for you.
Seems like we're going backwards, things really going from bad to worse. And it is we the people who really get in the path that hurts. That is the scene we are manipulating continuously in this country. Looking around at living condition, cause me to wonder if we were merely designed and put here to suffer political pressure and economical failure. Great numbers are restless, many bitterly. Some have no work, brother, and some are hungry. Some of us are hanging on by the very skin and we teeth. It's me to be blamed for it. Seems like we're going backwards, things really going from bad to worse.
Bam, bilim, bam, bam.
And it is we
Hey, welcome back to Real Talk.
who really
Right here on ZDK Liberty Radio 97.1. Time in studio. 17 minutes after the 8 p.m. hour.
manipulated continuously in this country. Looking around at
Yes, Dave Beef Joseph in the company. And how was your day today?
wonder if we were
I hope and trust you had a good day.
to suffer
Well, I had a good day.
pressure and economic.
The best day of the week, the Sabbath day.
Great numbers,
I did have a good day. Hey, for those who are not feeling all that good,
some
Hey, please. Say a prayer. Hey, prayer works all the time. Is we to be blamed for it? We need to change the system while we have the time.
But we can't go back to the old time,
Nope.
we can't condone the present treachery.
No way.
Our economy is failing, this country going to ruin. We hate one another.
Hey, let me say good night to my good buddy. Hey, the man Stonewall Jackson. Plus, hey. Hey, good night, my friends. Hey, Nalda Jarvis. Hey, hope and trust that all is going good. Oh, yes. I'm convinced of that. Hey, what's up, Nalda? Big up yourself. Wait, what's going on? What's going on here? Hey, like I said, the gremlins and them want to do something. Hey, let me say goodnight also to your brother, Nalda. Hope and trust that he's doing good. Hey, to those who are celebrating birthday today. Hey, happy birthday to you. Hey, to those who are celebrating, or those who would have celebrated in the not too distant past. Hey, belated birthday greetings to you. And those who will be celebrating in the not too distant future. Happy birthday to you.
We need adequate housing, we need industries. You wasting money searching for investors for this country. Go make them banks and insurance companies start invest with money right back here in this country. We need a change of heart, yes, a change of mind. We need to change the system while we have the time. But we can't go back to the old time, and we can't condone the present treachery. Oh no, our economy is failing, this country going to ruin. We hate one another, won't cling together while too much sticky fingers in high places. Can't be no, I am not an economist. I know, but I find that we can't continue like this. Brother, if we don't end this whole charade, we can't last the next day.
I was trying to look for who's celebrating birthday this week. I might have left that at home. Hey, but let me just see. Hey, advance birthday greetings to those who will be celebrating in the next week, starting tomorrow. Hope and trust that the Lord will spare your life to see your birthday, and that you'll have a good birthday when it comes around.
Many find work hard and unrewarding. And who can blame them? With government, union and employers now all combined. And it ain't the first time brothers they go rap we blind. Allowing foreign business to still exploit this country. Sidestepping our local chance to help the economy. Dealing in dirt, forgetting the masses, the hands in iniquity. We getting poorer day out and a spree. We need a change of heart, yes, a change of mind. We need to change the system while we have the time. But we can't go back to the old time, Makori. And we can't condone the present treachery. Oh no, our economy is failing, this country going to ruin. We hate one another, won't think together while too much sticky fingers in high places. Can't be no, I am not an economist. I know, but I find that we can't continue like this. We can't last the next decade. Is it too late, I wonder? Now have we really gone too far? Will we awake, I wonder, to see just what we are heading for? The stage is set, unemployment, inflation, starvation, frustration. Yes, my friend. If we must survive the combination, we must be vigilant with the fate of our charity workers and not spectators. Active leaders, not political elites. The conman is still alive here in this country. Some find they can make a fortune just by fooling we. If we continue along these lines, we may
crash, all because of selfishness.
We need a change of heart, yes, a change of mind. We need to change the system while we have time.
Bim bum bilim bum.
But we can't go back to the old time and go
No way.
and we can't condone the present treachery.
Me agree.
Our economy is failing, this country going to ruin. We hate one another, one thing together. Why? Too much sticky fingers in high places can't be no. I am not an economist,
I know.
but I find that we can't continue like this. Brother, if we don't end this old charade, we can last the next decade.
Yes, the sounds of the mighty monarch. That one he tags "Cry for Change," and I couldn't stop that one. They had to let that one play out. You know what I mean? Had to let that one play out. You know, and as I as that was playing, it dawned on my mind. In the past we would hear it being said sometimes in movies and the military. You operate on a need to know basis because sometimes it's best you not know certain things because the burden that you carry, having been exposed to that knowledge, it's a hell of a thing. It's a hell of a thing, and I've been thinking about that within the past recent days. And for those who are close to me, and I might have said it last week on the program, and it is something that I truly believe. When I look at Antigua and Barbuda today, to me, we need to get back to the structure that we knew some years ago, not too distant past. We need to get back to that structure. I don't know if I'm explaining it the right way, but that's just something that I see. That's just a feeling that I have. That's something that I think is lacking. I believe the lack of that structure has led to a breakdown in discipline, and I think that discipline is sorely needed. It's sorely needed. And I heard a discussion today, and do I have it? I didn't have it on my script. I didn't have it on my script, but that's what I'm going to start tonight. I heard a discussion today in relation to the government and how government should work in the eyes of some persons. And as I heard the discussion, my mind went back to just what I was thinking of, and what I just said just now, in terms of that structure, And as I have my discussion, if I say anything that persons would want to correct me on, feel free to give me a call on 462-1100, 462-1100, or you can send me a WhatsApp at 464-4201, 464-4201 as I go along. And if I say anything that is wrong, feel free to correct me. I don't have a problem with that at all. If I make an error and I need to be corrected, so be it. But as I was saying, in terms of what I think, in terms of the structure that has been whittled away, or is being whittled away, and that, in my opinion, has been one of the contributing factors, I should say, to the lack of discipline in the society. There are other factors, but that's one, in my opinion. To the best of my knowledge, the way how the public sector is set up is that you have, let me start from the top. So you would have the cabinet of the country, and then you would have the respective ministers for the different departments of government and statutory bodies. And then in the in the civil service structure, you would have the permanent secretary, and then you come down to the different PASs, etc. After that, in the statutory bodies, you would have the boards, chairman of the boards and the boards in general, and then you go down to the manager, and then it comes down. And to the best of my knowledge, from what I would have learned years ago, is that the cabinet is responsible for the policies of the government. And that policy begins its way downwards via the minister. And the permanent secretary goes down. Permanent secretary is responsible for the day-to-day operations of the ministry, to the best of my knowledge. As I heard the discussion, it seemed to me as if persons are of the opinion that the minister is responsible for the day-to-day activities of a ministry. I don't know that that is true. There are lawyers out there. I'm sure that one of them can write an opinion and share it with the public in the respective newspapers that we have. That would be something good to hear the opinion of a lawyer or of the Bar Association. That, but to my knowledge, the day-to-day operation of a ministry or of a ministry is that in the hands of the permanent secretary. And as I listened to them, as I listened to the talking, I remember my mind ran back to the medical benefits inquiry. And to the best of my knowledge, information would have come out of that in relation to what the minister or ministers would have recommended or done or instructed or whatever the case is. But it wasn't the minister who went to jail. It was the accountant who went to jail. And I think, if my memory serves me correct, it was said to the accountant that, you know, you're an accountant, you should know better, or you have certain standards or whatever the case is. I always wondered to myself, so what kind of standard the minister have? You know? So as I heard the discussion about who is in charge of the ministry and blah, 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 I am not one who believes that no minister runs no ministry on a day-to-day basis. I don't believe that. And until I am convinced of that, through some sort of a process that goes through the different levels of the court system, to tell me that, I'm not accepting that. If the government or if the cabinet, once the cabinet passes or asks to be executed a legal policy, persons, I believe, are duty bound to follow it. It's not about whether you like it, yes or no. And if you have a policy to implement that you are sufficiently incensed about, or if it goes against your principle, then you ought to resign. That is how I know it. But I don't know that no minister can tell anybody to carry out an illegal policy. I don't know about that. I don't know about that at all. I think I have a friend who might be listening. I'm looking to see if he WhatsApp me, but I haven't seen him as yet. He's versed in them kind of stuff there. So as I heard it, you know, I just smiled to myself, and I think that, well, at least for me, it confirmed for me why I believe we're in a little spot of bother in certain sense. But as we go down into the program, I will get more into depth in relation to the spot of bother. But I just wanted to let me start like that. It's two things I know. I think I tell people all the time I know. I think I know labor relations and I know insurance. I've been doing both of them for all of my working life. And if me don't know them having doing them for all my working life, them men deserve to be around here. You know what I mean? So I think I know labor relations and I think I know insurance. And when I hear, let me not say what I hear. I know the importance of the labor movement to the development of this country. And that history and those of us who have been trained, I believe, have a duty once we're alive and able to situate that what we would have been taught and we know to be true, that we do, and try to pass on to a younger generation to carry on the fight. You know what I mean? I don't think we can shirk away from these unpleasant situations, regardless to who it is, where it is, whenever it is. You know what I mean? I think we have a duty for that. So when we hear ignorance, we ought to speak up. We ought to speak up. And well, let's say silence give consent. Really, silence and give a consent. That's what they say. You know what I mean? But we have a duty, I believe, to sound our voices when we hear things, so that people understand that no. That's how you work. And that's how you go talk. But as I get down into the program a little later, I will get down into that. Because as I said, I didn't really come with that on my agenda. But having heard what I heard, I think I have I think I want to wade myself into that. I think so. 462-1100, again, that's the number that you can call to make a contribution if you so desire. Or 464-4201, that's the WhatsApp number, 464-4201, if you want to make a contribution via WhatsApp. And we're on Facebook Live, and let me just try to see, I'm just trying to see how I can see if there's any comments or anything. That's another avenue that is available, or that's another platform that is available to you to make a contribution. It's raining. Good night. It's raining because of okay, I don't know where that is. I don't know if it's raining outside. I really don't know. But maybe it's raining some part in Antigua. You know. Maybe it's not widespread. Yeah, so that's how it is now. Yes. I was during the course of the week, I was thinking about the Yida situation, and what's the latest on the Yida situation, because I remembered the last time we spoke about it, I think the court had ruled that the person who was owed was given the right to sell some shares and blah 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 blah. And as I asked some questions, somebody told me yes, it was in the news. So I went back to listen, and it was yesterday or last night. When I went to listen, I heard this. So I said, this is the latest on the Yida, and I want to share it with all.
Investor in the Antigua and Barbuda Special Economic Zone, Abzez Yida Zhang, will spend 14 days behind bars if he defaults in an outstanding payment to Lux locations. Yida has until December 31st to pay about $400,000. Elisha George has that story.
Yida Zhang was originally set to appear in the High Court for a judgment summons where he would have been required to make a case as to why he should not be imprisoned. This after real estate company Lux Location filed an application in court requesting that he be committed for non-payment. Yida, through his company Yida International Limited, made a last-minute move by wiring over US $4 million to the bank account of his law firm, Watt, Dorset and Hewlett Law. In the court hearing planned for 8 a.m. Friday morning, Dr. David Dorset, the attorney representing Yida, sent a copy to the court's clerk as proof. At around 3:36 a.m., a copy of what he called the transmission report was also sent via WhatsApp to the Dyson's attorneys. This payment was intended to settle the debt owed to the Dysons, with whom Yida had been embroiled in a long-standing legal battle over an unpaid debt exceeding $5.4 million. The $4 million transferred from a Hong Kong-based bank was also meant to cover the amount specified by the Privy Council, including additional costs owed to the Dysons. However, this fell short of the full settlement amount, leading to a conditional prison sentence issued by Justice Rennie Williams on Friday afternoon. Yida must ensure that the $4 million reaches the Dyson's account by November 24th. A further outstanding balance of US $400,000 must be paid by 4 p.m. on December 31st. Failure to meet these obligations will result in a 14-day imprisonment at Her Majesty's prison. Both parties will now have to wait and see when that $4 million reaches the law firm's account and whether Yida will, unlike other times, finally pay his debt in full.
All right, so that seems to be the latest situation with Yida. He has until the end of the year, the 31st, I think it said, to pay off what, 400,000 US, I believe it's in US, or else he will serve what, 14 days or so in jail, if I'm not mistaken. That's what I heard. He has 14 days in jail, and I haven't heard nothing recent. Well, I shouldn't say I haven't heard. The last thing I heard in relation to Yida was that I don't know that nothing is happening up Crabs area. I don't know nothing is happening up Crabs area. I don't know what's happening there. But yes, this money was owed to somebody, and they went the length and the breadth via the court system, and they're in a position now where they're getting their justice, where they can do something to either get their money or lock up somebody. You know what I mean? And as I say to people, as my dad used to say, yes, sometimes the system is a bit slow, but it works. You know what I mean? It's a bit slow, but it works. It works. It works. All right, so that's the latest situation there. And Yida will have to, well, that's another month or so, about 6 more weeks ago before the 31st, before we know whether or not the investor will be jailed. But I think if you can pay, $4 million something plus $400,000 shouldn't be much to meet between now and then. But then again, who am I? I'm not a millionaire, you know what I want some go. During the course of this week, also, I believe it might have been on Thursday. It was Thursday. No, I think yesterday. Might have been Thursday. We woke up to the news, those of us who read the newspapers, that the traditional ABST waiver that takes place around the Christmas time wasn't to be. I believe that was a story in the Point Express. Might have been on Thursday. And that set off a firestorm in the country. Because I guess both from business owner and customer look forward to those times when they get some relief from the ABST to get big ticket items. We would have known prior to when that article came out, we would have heard rather, members of the government indicating that because things so tight, the government was looking ways to raise more revenue. And again, sometime prior to that article, I think it's going back as far as June. Might be going back as far as June, where we started to hear certain concessions will be taken away and certain taxes will have to be increased and that kind of stuff. So that discussion, maybe it's a discussion to prepare the public for what is to come. But that discussion happened before that. But before, let me see very good. This is how that one started in relation to when it started to circulate that the ABST might not be on the cards for this year.
The country will have to wait on the arrival of Prime Minister Gaston Brown tomorrow for an official announcement of whether or not Christmas shoppers will get to enjoy the traditional ABST-free weekend. Acting Prime Minister Sir Stedroy Benjamin told Observer that he has discussed the matter with the Prime Minister, who will make the final decision. News broke this morning that the Cabinet would not be applying the reduction on goods and services. One news entity quoted well-placed sources who said the government was focused on ways to raise revenue to help it meet its monthly obligations, particularly the payment of salaries and wages for December. Earlier today, state media said Cabinet is set to make a determination when it meets next week on whether to grant the traditional waiver. They say Finance Ministry officials have recommended that there be no waiver this year. However, the executive arm of the government has not yet deliberated on this recommendation. Insiders say the decision was taken due to empty government coffers. The government says it has already granted over $325 million in waivers for the year and can't afford to provide any more. The UPP statement this morning condemned what it called a heartless and cowardly move. Just last week, the Prime Minister said the government was considering raising the ABST to 17%. The opposition New Progressive Party called for mass public consultations before a decision is made.
So, according to this news item here, after the paper broke it, and criticisms and political blows started to fly here and there and everywhere, it was said that it was Finance Department employees who suggested that the waiver be not forthcoming this year. And when I heard that, I just smiled to myself and I said, yeah. And I started to look outside to see if any pigs was flying over, you know. Because I don't know who they believe they fool with that. As I said, the discussion in relation to increasing government revenues, etc., would have been touted since June of this year. So for me to believe that it was employees within the finance ministry, well, notice no employee's name or position was mentioned. Employees within the government, the finance ministry made a suggestion. I am not accepting that. I am not believing that until certain other facts are brought to my attention. I'm not believing that. Minnesota retarded to believe that. And I must say it. I must say it to go on record with it too. There seems to be some persons in government who believes that all of the residents and citizens of Antigua and Barbuda must be stupid when they make certain utterances, you know, and that infuriates me. When some people can believe that we're so stupid out here, or most of us, or all of us is so stupid out here, that, you know, they just come and talk a bunch of garbage. They just come and talk a bunch of garbage. And I'm wondering to myself, they don't ever talk to sensible people too. Maybe they have identified a crowd or a section of the society that they believe they can talk this ignorance to. But they don't recognize they're just, one, embarrassing themselves, because they look very stupid when you hear it, to me, in my eyes. And you're trying to insult the intelligence of other people. I'm not going to say everybody, because yes, there are some people who will swallow everything that they hear. There's some people who will do that. But some people will not. Some people will investigate, and some people have information that they know that when they hear the ignorance, that is ignorance. It needs to stop. That needs to stop, people. There are people who are doing it because it's not really doing you all no good. I think I can tell you all that. It's not really doing you all no good. It's doing more harm than good for you all. But anyway, before I went off on that, so that's how we started. We heard that the ministry, people, or employees in the Ministry of Finance suggested to the government, and that might have been, today's Saturday, that might have been Thursday, or maybe it's yesterday, You know what I mean? And yes, because the news there said that everybody wasn't. Oh, not everybody. Most persons might have been now waiting for the prime minister to return. The prime minister went to some kind of summit in Saudi Arabia, and there's something about that thing there bothering me too. If I remember later down in the program, I'll say what I'm seeing, what I'm thinking. But that's just me. I don't know. Yes, so they were saying that we should wait until when the prime minister. I think the news actually said when the cabinet would have discussed it, which would have been Wednesday. So then maybe about Tuesday now this will be. But since then I've seen a WhatsApp circulating where it was said that where it was said that the prime minister said, or I'm not sure if it's from a prime minister posted, where there was a round robin done of the cabinet, and this was a decision of the cabinet.
The anticipated reduction in the Antigua and Barbuda sales tax, or ABST, is set to make a comeback during the upcoming Christmas season, after concerns arose about the potential absence of the customary holiday benefit. Prime Minister Gaston Brown has confirmed that the government has scheduled ABST reduction weekends and a day on December 15th to 17th and December 22nd, reducing the tax from 50% to 5%. This announcement comes shortly after initial reports suggested that there would be no ABST reduction on goods and services this year. According to a news source citing well-placed sources, the government had been exploring ways to generate additional revenue to meet its monthly commitments, especially regarding salary and wage payments for December. In response to this news, residents promptly expressed their dissatisfaction through various social media platforms. Well, the public will get their wish this year, but unlike previous years, residents will not have the usual 6 days of tax relief. Instead, there will be 4.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize there was a reduction in the days. I didn't realize that at all. So, as you would have heard in the news, there was some round robin again, as I would have heard or read in a post in some place that says that the cabinet round robin, and that was the decision that you would have just heard there just now, that yes, it is still on the cards for this year, but instead of 6 days, as the lady said there, it's going to be 4. Again, as I said, I didn't realize that part there, so just now I heard that. I'm thinking that I don't remember the exact date, but I think the last day is going to be the 22nd. The 22nd of December. I think the last is going to be 22nd December. I don't remember what the other 2 days are, if it's a weekend before or what. But I think the last day is going to be on the 22nd. I think so. So that's that there. I suspect that the outcry that rang out changed certain minds. That is my opinion. That's my belief in it. And again, we go back to the discussion of government. The government having indicated that, well, look, there are bills to be paid, and there will be no, the status quo as we know it, will be no more. Whether that is just talk again, because we would have heard certain things one way, in terms of like duty freeze and that kind of stuff, and then we heard another thing the other way. So I don't really know what's happening along the line there, but we are told, and I think that some of us are reasonably convinced that based on certain things that we're seeing, how the money is going, etc., that it can't continue as it is. I'm not sure what or where the government position is in relation to the ability to borrow for future borrowings. I don't know. A lot of people will be listening to the throne speech and the budget speech with much anticipation to hear what the government will be doing. We would have heard again it being touted that the possibility exists where the ABST will be increased. And talking about that, also there was some backlash in this week also, where the government have was indicating. I'm not sure if I should say that way. Yeah. Well, it seems to me as if plans might be finalizing for a one nation concert. I think that is normally held in January. I think it's normally held in January. I've never been to one. We can't really deal with the crowd. You know what I mean? So I've never really been to one outside of seeing it on TV or YouTube or recording what. I've never really been to one. But some persons were asking, if things are so tight and money is so tight, where does the government finding the money from for one nation concert or one nation concert? How is priorities being set here? So I don't know what's going to happen to that, whether that is still on the cards, yes or no. But I know it comes up around this January time. I don't know exactly what time in January. So we'll have to wait and watch and see about that. But going back to the discussion in relation to why government may be going to look or adjust its whole tax system and them kind of stuff. Let me go with this one in terms of the university. Oh, well, that was said in the context of why certain taxes needed to be increased, etc. And I said earlier here that it's in the news that Antigua, I think it might have been different CARICOM states or Caribbean countries, have been on this on a what was it, maybe a seminar or summit or something in Saudi Arabia over the last day or two. And from my understanding, from what I heard on the news, Saudi Arabia is looking to these parts to partner with different governments investment-wise. That's what I understood from the news. It got me to thinking, and I'll tell you why in a few minutes. But let's go here.
Let's say we even increase, we're able to raise an additional, let's say, $15-20 million in property taxes. That is just a drop in the bucket. You see, when you look at the obligations that we have taken on, I mean, the university alone, you're looking at over $20 million a year to sustain that. That is an obligation we didn't have prior to 3 years ago. When you look at the monies that we have spent in other areas of education, including ABIS, the borrowings to support the repairs to our roads and expansion of our roads, the borrowings for the university as well. So it's not just meeting monies for the operational costs, but we'll also have to find monies to pay that $80 million loan. So we're at the state now, going into the next budget, we have to make some adjustments, and possibly by next week we'll make that determination. We may even have to increase the ABST by maybe 1 or 2%. If we increase the ABST by about 1 or 2%, if it's 2%, we'll raise about $40 million. Now, we are faced, or will be faced with increased obligations to cover the increase in pay to public servants. And we are determining that they must get their 9 plus their 5, their 14% increase. And that's going to cost us nearly $40 million. And I'd say the most reliable way to probably ensure that is paid is increase the ABSC by 2%.
All right, so I wanted to play that in its entirety so that person doesn't say, I'm this and I'm that and that. But I wanted to key in on the section with the university.
Let's say we even increase, we're able to raise an additional, let's say, $15-20 million in property taxes. That is just a drop in the bucket. You see, when you look at the obligations that we have taken on, I mean, the university alone, you're looking at over $20 million a year to sustain that. That is an obligation we didn't have prior to 3 years ago. When you look at the monies that we have spent.
All right. So, 20 million, I believe it's 20 million US. That's an obligation that the government did not have years ago. I'm not going to get into the debate as to the importance of a university versus not and that kind of stuff. We're not going to get into that. We're past that discussion. At least I'm past that discussion to my mind. What is troubling to me, however, in relation to that, is that I believe that a government has a duty to be upfront and straightforward with its citizens. I think so. And if us having a university is going to require a tax burden of XYZ on persons, then we should know that from the beginning. We should know that from the beginning, right? And I'm not an economist. I'm not an economist on no such thing. So they will tell me about it. But why I said with the Saudi Arabia thing, I'm watching it and I have a different view on it. I remembered when we got the loan. For when we got this loan from Saudi Arabia, I'm thinking in my mind that the persons or the country who is lending these monies would be or ought to have been convinced by certain documentations or whatever is presented to them as to how their monies will be repaid to them. I just think that I think that's how it works, right? So when the Prime Minister indicated that different revenue streams are going to have to be looked into, etc., 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 in order to pay, I agree. I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that at all. I agree with that. But I got to thinking to myself, so how did we as a country convince Saudi Arabia to lend us the 20 million US, if it's 20 million US? How did we convince them to get that loan? And why I was thinking that, that there's a discussion where persons in this world believe that China, one strategy that China has is to lend monies to developing nations when they know quite well that these countries might not be able to pay back these loans, and then they in turn would now take over the asset that the money was borrowed to build. And I think that there's actually some examples of China taking over certain airports and maybe cargo ports and that kind of stuff. So when I heard about the Saudi Arabia thing, that is what came to my mind. Also, for those of us who follow the news, international news, we would know that Saudi Arabia is seemingly pivoting away from the United States towards Russia and China. We would know that prior to the Israeli Hamas war that's now ongoing. Prior to that, in the throes of the Ukraine war, from what I would have heard on the news, and I'm just saying it in a précis form, Saudi Arabia had an arrangement, or the then leader of Saudi Arabia had an agreement, with America, where Arabia selling and them kind of stuff, doing transaction in oil, would have been done in US dollar. I think that there is a transitioning from the father to the son. I heard the Prime Minister calling his name quite recently. I believe he might have been the host of the stuff that they went to, the different Caribbean countries went to. He is pivoting away from that, from what was before. As a matter of fact, At one point in time, Biden was supposed to go to Saudi Arabia, and the meeting was called off because of that tension, you know. If that is actualized, that is, if Saudi Arabia pivots away from America towards Russia and China, how does that affect things? How does that affect things on the wider scale, on the international scale? So that was something that was in my mind. That was something that was in my mind. And then I went back then. This would have been back to February, I believe. February. Yes. I'm just looking for the date. I think it was in February. One of the press briefing, post-press briefing. And a question was put to Minister Melford Nicholas at that press briefing in relation to the loan, the Saudi loan, in relation to the university, or for the expansion of the university. And this is it here.
And my final question is on the loan expansion of the UE campus, the UE Five Islands campus. It is obviously a significant amount of money. I had the figure written down, but my note is not with me right now.
The equivalent in EC dollars is $216 million.
Okay, 260 million EC dollars. The question that came to mind, in the last budget we had, the budget was about 1.6 billion. And the deficit was about 0.6 billion. So there was a rather gargantuan deficit of around $600 million. That was in our last budget. And the government, of course, is taking on this loan for what is, many people would, of course, argue and accept is an important cause in terms of expanding UE and contributing to our tertiary education. But in terms of us sustaining that level of debt, if we're adding that 216 million in the course of things as the year rolls over, to the amount of public debt that the government is having to deal with. The question is, how sustainable is this?
It is sustainable because the lenders themselves would satisfy themselves that we would have the capacity in the end to be able to repay the loan.
You know, and this is, again, I'm not an accountant, but let me go back to the end part.
The question is, how sustainable is this?
It is sustainable because the lenders themselves would satisfy themselves that we would have the capacity in the end to be able to repay the loan.
All right. So the lender themselves, the Saudis, would be satisfied that we, Antigua and Barbuda, would be able to pay off the loan that we were seeking, 216 million EC. So then, if that is true, and again, this was on February I believe it might have been February the 6th, if I'm not mistaken, when this of this year, when this press conference was held. How do we square that with what the Prime Minister would have said in terms of, you know, taxes have to be raised because the university, for instance, we did not have that during the period of time. How is it me, or the two of those things, they don't fit? I don't know. 464-4201, that's the WhatsApp number. 462-1100, that's the telephone number. Because if we would have had to have satisfied Saudi Arabia that this is how we're able to pay back your loan when we got the loan, then I don't know that now we're going to be hearing that taxes should go up. Unless what? Back then when we got the loan, in terms of the negotiations that we're having, they were saying that, well, hey, the way how we're going to pay this is that we're going to increase the loan, the tax burden on our citizens by X amount. And I don't know. That's how it works? I don't really know. I don't know. And I thought I'd come and play too. The two of them. Maybe I have it wrong. I don't know. But if I do, again, as I said, I'm not an economist. So maybe I am seeing something that's not that's not there. You know, maybe I'm seeing something that's not there, but to me, it doesn't make sense to me. Personally, it doesn't make sense to me. I don't know. But I think that a colleague for the Prime Minister would have given him some good advice. I really think that this gentleman gave some good advice to the Prime Minister, and I believe that the Prime Minister should listen. As I said yesterday, not yesterday, as I said last week, that's my position. If government have money out there and government now go and collect the money, they can't tell me no more on the taxes.
On another note now, Donna spoke this evening about property taxes and, the possibility of the government, raising property taxes in some instances, in some sectors, and, collecting taxes and penalizing people for not paying taxes. I am telling the Prime Minister on this show tonight, before he looks at ever raising any tax in Antigua, look at your collection system, Prime Minister, for every government tax that's charged in this country. If you can get your collection system, Prime Minister, on point, you'll have no problem with finance. Not calling you out on the radio, just telling you.
Well, we can have a private conversation. That I can tell you that.
I'm just saying you have to look first, sir, at your collection.
Let me give an example. I mean, one of our major taxes is the taxes at the port on imported goods. I don't know how you stop that manipulation.
But I won't tell you on the radio how to do it, but I can tell you.
I don't know, because that one there...
Yeah, there are certain businesses in this country that you can piggyback on. Use them as an example, not right, of what kind of duties they pay in a year. And you would realize quickly how many companies in Antigua and businesses are not paying the correct duties. Very simple. If you have a container, I'm just saying...
You know that we changed our security system, a more efficient system. We also have an audit team down there to back check the invoices after they're processed to see whether or not there are any discrepancies. And that has not made a difference. That we haven't tried. Yeah, so there seems to be...
The tax collection system needs to be
my dear brother, when you have collusion within the system, and you want to necessarily go there, it's a very, very difficult issue to manage and to increase the yield.
You know as well as I PM that if you... I'm just saying tomorrow...
Let me ask you, why you think some of those businesses, as you said, are paying less than the fair share of taxes? You think they do it on their own?
I'm not saying so. I'm not saying that. I know they're not doing it on their own.
It's a complex issue. It is a cultural issue. It is an entrenched issue. And I want to tell you...
Because if you raise taxes,
it's not easy to eradicate.
People who pay the taxes now will pay more.
Yeah.
And I'm not shirking my responsibility here as Minister of Finance. First of all, we're not there. We're not.
This is the little part that I think that this is so important. I think this is crucial. With what Senator Scholl had said, Mr. Scholl, but he was being spoken over at the time.
May I ask you why you think some of those businesses, as you said, are paying less than the fair share of taxes? You think they do it on their own?
I'm not saying so. I'm not saying that. I know they're not doing it.
It's a complex issue.
It
is a cultural issue. It's an entrenched issue. And I want to tell you,
because if you raise taxes,
it's not easy to eradicate.
People who pay the taxes now will pay more.
Yeah.
If you raise taxes, it's the same persons who are paying the taxes now who's going to pay more. Because the people who are paying the taxes now that's going to pay. When a government knows that, hey, at least in relation to the ABST and so, hey, these monies are outstanding, and they just not go for the money. And I don't understand what is cultural and what is so cultural about that. And if the Prime Minister is gung-ho, I've heard the Prime Minister speak within recent days, that even if he has to take on the civil servants, even if he has to take on the civil servants as a third term government, then so be it. As a matter of fact, let me see if I could find that. That would have been said. That would have been said maybe just in the last week. In the last week or so. Let me see if I can I can find it. Where the Prime Minister said that as a third term government, if he has to take on the civil some civil servants in the civil service. We can't depend on that. Oh, yeah, here it is. Here it is. I think this is it.
I said to the people of this country that we're going to go through with our vaccine mandate to protect the people, to protect the economy. And I said, if they vote against us, so be it. We almost lost. And similarly, I am prepared to now deal with that elephant in the room in terms of the inefficiency within the public sector.
Right. So, why I'm not hearing that stridency in relation to collecting government money that are outstanding? I don't understand that.
And I'm not shirking my responsibility here as Minister of Finance. First of all, we're not there, we're not on site. When the container comes in and it's already cleared, we're going to prove. By then they don't sell the goods. It's a difficult proposition.
You say you have an audit team that back check the invoices.
If Lamin brings
I'm not going to say that at this point. I don't want to upset the applicant.
If Lamin brings in a container of, I'm just using an example, clothing, and he pays consistently between $150,000 to $200,000 in duties on that container. Consistently. Every time he brings in one, the duties is between $150,000 and $200,000. I mean, all tax duty, RRC, ABSD, etc. And you have Philip Shaw, Colin O'Neill, or Donna Shire bringing in similar goods, very similar goods, probably even for the same person, but he's paying $40,000 consistent. Something is wrong.
But no. You have looked at this issue in a very simplistic way.
I am.
What about if a container comes in with mixed goods, which is invariably the case, and they have the cheap ones at the front of the container and the expensive one that carry the high duties at the back, and you have a situation where there's a collusion? How you manage that?
That's a good question.
And then what you'll find that indeed, I can understand you can probably do some spot checks occasionally, and even that in itself. I mean, even if you do it occasionally and you catch them, it doesn't stop them from continuing.
Yeah, I just got a message from somebody said you probably need to introduce a rotation system amongst the officers.
It can be tried.
You're not here. You see, the problem is, I mean, to me,
that what they have here.
System, right? System. And that's what I'm saying, the Prime Minister. Look at your collection system in every department of taxes in Antigua.
Well, let me ask you. I mean, so taxpayers don't have the responsibility to pay the fair share of taxes?
But I agree, but the taxpayers who...
That's what I tell you, it's a cultural problem. You understand? And it is entrenched to the extent that everybody just turn a blind eye. They see nothing, they hear nothing. So it's not as easy as you may think to resolve.
All right, so that was the advice given to the Prime Minister. Good advice, I believe, in this sphere. Outstanding monies or the collection of outstanding monies should be priority before new taxes. I personally believe that, and of course, you're not gonna get 100% compliant rates. You're not going to get that, and I'm not asking for that either. We're on Earth, but I believe that the acceptable percentage will be in the region of 80 to 85% collections for government to reasonably know what they're doing and what is requested or what is required. In terms of additional taxes going forward, but you can have a major tax, performing below 50%. And then the answer is to raise taxes. And as Mr. Shaw would have said, and I agree with him on this one, that it is the persons who are paying are still going to be paying. That can't make no sense to me. That can't really make no sense to me at all. So we will listen to the tone speech, budget speech, and we'll hear. We will hear, and then the public will know where they're going, if they're going one way or if they're going the next way. You know, so that is where I would want. And this, you see this clip with Shaul? I'm going to keep that. I'm going to keep that as we get down to the closer to the budget time. I'm going to keep that. I'm going to keep that. And the talk shop thing about collection, you know what I mean? I don't know if that's going to work. I don't know if that's going to work. Again, I don't know about that. The latest at APUA. We would have heard the whole debacle in relation to Mr. Martin being sent home. And those are my words. I don't know about no pre-retirement leave and all that kind of stuff. I haven't seen Mr. Martin's contract, so I don't know. I've heard the government side. I've heard from persons who I believe are close to Mr. Martin say another thing. Seems as if Mr. Martin is taking advice in relation to that situation. So we will have to, I guess, wait and see what comes out of that. If anything comes out of it. I'm hearing that Mr. Martin's contract was supposed to have finished in December. That's where I heard originally it was being said that he wasn't interested in moving past that time. And the government said, no, wait, we'll pay you. According to the Prime Minister and what the government is saying, there was no loss of benefits or anything for Mr. Martin. They just needed him to not be in the way so that they could continue with what they were going to be doing in terms of quote unquote reforms. Let me just use their words, reforms within the water division. So that's where we are. We would have heard that Mr. I think the name is Roger Tong. I know the last name is Tong. I'm not sure if I have the first name right, but I think it's Roger Tong. Was appointed as the acting general manager. And word on the street is that a former employee of APUA might have worked in the water division, and this is word on the street, so nobody try to say they can sue me. The word on the street is that the position will be filled by one Mr. Bradshaw. I don't remember the first name. The person told me the full name, but I don't remember the first name. But Mr. Bradshaw, they said he would have worked within APU before, the water department, and it's been said that he will be appointed in the position. So we will just have to wait and see if what is being said on the street turn out to be true. But that is what is circulating out there, that Mr. Bradshaw, again I don't remember the first name, should be taking over the position of general manager at APUA. So we will wait and watch and see what is happening in relation to that. There is something else that I am toying with as to whether I should touch that as yet, or let a little breeze blow on it. Maybe I should let a little breeze blow on it. It's in relation to the water and the discussion that we would have heard that government might be seeking to enter into an arrangement with I believe it might have been a Trinidadian company. Some people say the company didn't really been a Trinidadian company, it's an American company. And or a local company. I've heard some things about that. I heard the Prime Minister today. He seemed, if I understood him correctly, he seemed to have been saying that the possibility exists that a contract might be signed with both entities. But let's wait and see. And let some breeze blow on that. And then once we get confirmation on certain things, then we will bring it to the attention, at least as far as Real Talk is concerned. I'll bring it to the attention of the listeners for Real Talk. Liat, I haven't heard. I was trying to find out today whether or not Liat was still flying. I thought somebody who I reached out to told me, I think they were saying that they were grounded. Well, those are my words, grounding. The grounding of Liat would be from today. I think that's what I heard. I'm not too sure. I was trying my best to get confirmation from persons up at the airport as to whether Liat was still flying, yes or no. But I haven't got that confirmation as well. Seems to be as if somebody saying it should start from tomorrow. I don't really know. I know the Prime Minister had indicated. What did the Prime Minister say? This was on the 11th, so this is going to be last week Saturday. Yes, last week Saturday, when the question was put to the Prime Minister, this is what he said.
Liat had a very unfortunate situation. Two of the planes, well, one never worked since before COVID. We will have to spend a few $1 million, until about $3 million to get it back up and running. And there's yet the second one also needs maintenance. But the one that was actually flying, apparently the engine timed out. So we had to buy a new engine. I'm told that the engine will arrive in St. Vincent, if not tomorrow, by Monday. And hopefully maybe thereafter. I'm hoping it wouldn't take more than 24, 48 hours.
Okay, so based on the Prime Minister's hope, Monday and then 48 hours from Monday would bring you to Wednesday. Let's even stretch it to Thursday. So then I haven't. Well, maybe that situation with Liat has been sorted out. Then I'm not sure. Somebody can send me a WhatsApp 464-4201 or 462-1100. That's the telephone number. Somebody can tell me if it is. I wouldn't bet my life. I wouldn't bet my life on it. I wouldn't bet my life on it at all. You know what I mean? But I want to know. I don't want to just not follow up these kind of things to know exactly what is happening. Because, the big thing is efficiency and this and that and this and that. That's the big thing now. And persons are being fired for not being efficient, as some persons would have said. But here it is. I think that is Antigua who is managing Liat. Not the government directly, but somebody managing it for the government. I think so. I don't know if they know that an engine can't go or can't be used past whatever it is, the mileage or whatever the case is. And nothing, well, let me not say nothing is done. The new engine or a replacement engine or whatever is not there. So your fleet has to be grounded. And I haven't heard nobody say nobody up there should get fired. I don't know if it came out and I missed it, but I don't know if that is a example of efficiency. I'm not sure. But so be it. Again, if anybody have, and I'm gonna continue in my investigation to know exactly what's happening. But if anybody have any information in relation to whether or not Liat is in the air or not, share it with me, and once confirmed, I'll share it with the listeners and viewers of Real Talk. Beef, any updates on Alpha Nago? Hey, Alpha Nago, the Alpha Nero. No, I haven't heard anything recently in relation to that. The last thing that I would have heard some time ago, there's a number of matters that should be coming up in the court. I think they had consolidated some things and so. But one date stuck in my head, the 19th of December. On the 19th of December, a hearing, an application, is supposed to be held where the lady who's claiming ownership, her side, her lawyers, are asking, they're petitioning the court to have experts inspect the ship to see the standard where the ship is at. Those are my words. I remember the date being the 19th because that is my brother's birthday. So that's why that date stuck in my head. I don't know what are the other dates for the other applications and that kind of stuff. But that is so far as I can say on the Alvanero. B, if you heard about the new PRO for the Labour Party, switching allegiance for jobs in Antigua. Switching allegiance for jobs in Antigua now, Beef? Beef, you heard about the new PRO for the Labour Party? No, I didn't. I don't know that that the Labour Party would have had a new PRO. From what I would have heard, from utterances I would have heard on the radio, I think the PRO for the Labour Party would have been Dean Jonas. I think it would have been Dean Jonas. I'm not sure if he's still operating in that capacity. I'm not sure. But no, I haven't heard nothing about that part. Switching allegiance for jobs. Switching allegiance for jobs in Antigua. No, Beef, that's the question. Hey, what do I say in relation to that? If somebody has to switch their allegiance for jobs in Antigua, my partner Plassie does always tell me, Dave, believe people until you can prove to yourself not to believe them no further, and then stop believing them. You know, Plassie told me that a long time ago. I believe I know where this WhatsApper is going, but what I will say, okay, one second. They want GV, Chanel. What's GV? They want, who want the person here? As I was saying, let me get back my thoughts. As I was saying, yeah, plus he does tell me, Tal, look what let me get my thoughts, but sound like a lamin. When lamin made a hyperventilate, what the hell is Tal. Yes. Yes, as I said, plus he used to tell me, believe people until you can prove what they're saying. If you can prove them to be liars, then you believe them no more. And some people look at that as being, too simplistic and so. But I agree with Plassie. A wise man he is. I agree with Plassie. The lady in question said during the time when she resigned that, and I'm paraphrasing it, that she has other issues that she would like to deal with, and did not want the cloud of the particular party that she was with covering her, if you want to call it that. Those are my words of surmising what she said. And then after she would have left that party, you would have seen her attired a particular way, jumping in a particular cause. I have to say that she was quite upfront and straight with her former party, telling them that, well, look, I have other things that I need to deal with or I want to deal with, and I don't see this as being the vehicle for it. And she went the way she wants to go. That's how I look at that. And I must give her some credit in terms of her resignation and the publicness of it. I gather that she would have wanted to put herself in a position where see her operating in a particular sphere and not hearing nothing over there. That's how I see that WhatsApper. Apparently, this is the third party they joined Beef. 1, 2, 3. Yes, that's true. That is true. But maybe if they have two more, they can join 2 more too. That is people's right. That is people's right to join or not to join if they don't want to. If they don't want to join. So I don't have problems with them kind of things here. I really don't. I was listening to a conversation today. And my mind ran on Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson used to have a dance move that they call the moonwalk. Well, I see people a moonwalk no world, as far as me can see. Moonwalk no world. And some things that we would have heard last week, this week, it's being said that me not call the name, me not call beef name. So if beef want to pick up my con, that is beef business. I'm not sure that I had played it last week because I decided that I was going to stay away from it, and watch on and see how it works out. But having heard the discussion today, it has piqued my interest even more. Because as I said, it is two things that I think I know. I know labor relations and I know insurance. Those two things there. And how much people can fool me with them two things there. And the public will be hearing or is hearing now certain terms that is known, like one of the terms that is being bandied about now is constructive dismissal. And some persons believe that because a person resigns, that's it. They don't, there's nothing due to the person, etc. That's not the case. I'll tell you that. That's not the case at all. If an employee resigns citing constructive dismissal, that is, the employer would have made the environment as such that the person is fired, or to being told that they're fired. If an employee can prove that at the Labor Department, at the minister's level, at the industrial court level, or at the appeals level after that, if they can prove that, then they would get compensation for being constructively dismissed. So, not because you know tell the person fired, I mean that they can't make out a case of being dismissed constructively. And I would want to believe that if persons occupy a certain position going upwards in the service, that should be basic knowledge. You know, in my opinion, that should be basic knowledge. So based on what I would have heard, today, because as I said, I don't recall last week playing it or playing some of what I would have heard, because I didn't want to get involved in that on that level. I just wanted to observe what would have happened. And I'm speaking of the lady Yoletta Francis, I believe is the last name, the former CEO of the airport of Aba. Right? That is the issue that I'm speaking of. There was another matter in maybe more, well, it ran for a number of years, but I believe the judgment came down, if not early part of this year, the latter part of last year, where that person, I believe they might have been on vacation, if I'm not mistaken, yes, and when they returned to work, the locks on the doors was changed, and certain things happened, and the matter went as far as the industrial court, and the person was awarded, I think it was $600 and something thousand dollars. $600 or something $1,000. Let's wait and watch and see if the former CEO is going to go to court. In a letter that I would have seen circulated from her, she reserved the right to defend herself legally. That normally means that the person is going to court for what they see to be their justice. So we will watch and wait and see what happens if she's going to court, and who's representing her. Let me not go into speculation there, but I'm hearing that she is going to court, or she is going through the process, which starts at the Labor Department and might end up in the Industrial Court, because she believes that based on certain utterances that was made last week, would have essentially, she can make out a case that she was constructively dismissed, or put another way, the environment was so tarnished by the employer that no reasonable persons could expect her to continue to function under those scenarios. I'm sure that if she's making a case of a constructive dismissal, I'm sure that she would have secured the recording by now, which I suspect will be entered into evidence, at least at the industrial court level, as to what was being said. And what I will do, I'm going to share some of what I would have heard. As I said, I heard today that, hey, me not call nobody name. So if you want to take up the con, that is for your business. That's equivalent, I believe, to say that, well, quite recently, and if I'm not mistaken, there's a case ongoing now. I'm not sure if it's completed. I'm not going to get into it too deep, but there's a case ongoing now, or might have been just completed, where the prosecution was going for a conviction based on circumstantial evidence, right? That is, if certain things are said in a certain way and pointed in a certain direction, what conclusion can a reasonable person draw from that? That is the grounds where we're in. So again, as I said, as I heard today, I heard that, hey, what me say, I want me say, me not call the name. So as far as me concerned, that is that. That is one side that we're hearing now. I suspect that I suspect that for the little I know about labor relations, I suspect that go. And we'll see. Time will tell. And I hope the Lord spare my life to follow it through to the end. Also, as well as been said in the news, two managers have been terminated from state insurance, and from what is being said publicly, even in the news, there is some level of, what were the news used? Some level of, Lord, I have it right on my tongue now. Not having confidence. Those are my words. There's some level of not having confidence in these two persons based on some kind of financial records or something to that effect. That might have been, this person might have gotten their letters last week, Friday, if I'm not mistaken. And what today was Saturday? No, it wasn't yesterday. So you have to be last week, Friday, maybe thereabout. And I'm told that at least one of the two persons were escorted out of the building by security. And the person have indicated how embarrassing an experience that was. All right, so we wait and watch and see what will happen on that end, whether or not these former workers would start the process again at the Labor Department level to challenge anything. I guess we'll have to wait and watch and see about that. So those are three matters, labor relation matters, that I'm keeping my eyes on. And from what I know and what I would have read in relation to the person who would have gotten $600 or something $1,000, I mean, I think that case was even remotely close to where these cases are. So I don't know, we might be going over the $1 million mark when we finish. Good night, caller.
Good night.
Boblo.
Yo.
How you doing?
Alright.
Man, what's some more I play for you and all tonight now?
Yeah.
When we come back from a break, gonna play it because I hear what you're saying. I don't know what kind of a religious man, you know what I mean, you know, what your belief is. But take me decipher the parable that you were talking, and I wanted to share it to the people.
Well, I appreciate that. But let me say thanks to you for really touching base with me, you know.
Bless up, man. Nothing, man.
Yeah, man, let me say thanks to you because
we're all humans.
I think that we're with one team, and not only one team. I think that we're with a set of people, but nobody like them with me because, I mean, to say, I've been through sickness, I've been through so much, and nobody reach out to me as great as how you did the other day, my brother, and I'm have to say, highly appreciated, you know, because, hey, look, there's not much people there that would have done the thing that you have done to me, I understand, and not only to me, but just because I want to live right amongst each other, we, included me, we are not living right. So because we're not living right, we don't have the concern and the interest that we should really have for each other because, hey, look, moments and time are quickly passing, yeah?
Yes.
And me won't want to say tomorrow that me miss beef when beef gone.
Understood.
You understand? Me think the best thing for me to do is to make the best use of the man now, the man, yeah? And show appreciation to the man. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
That person that me be. A lot of people only hear from advice and then think, oh, he's this kind of person. But man, if you want to forget for no people, you have to know them, see? You know, just jump up and hear one man maybe talk. Because and everything people talk, you agree to, no, but there is some sense towards what I'm saying. You might see them now when they speak them now, but just go back home and look up and think deep and look into yourself, and you will see that the things that people say, not everything, that really means a lot to all of us, you understand? You see? And I mean, hopefully hope that, you know, that me can really make a change of myself because, as me say, moments and time are quickly passing. And me really like to find myself in the right place because of the how things happen, you see?
Mm-hmm.
Man, just a drop out, all kind of things that happen. And now we look up and say our redemption right now, just a look and a live and think that I just want next brother gone. But time is closing for now, yeah? So all I have to do is get ourselves prepared to meet our master.
True.
Because anytime now, the master can put in your appearance.
True.
Have a good night, brother.
All right, man. Thanks for calling, right? On the bird, go ahead, man. Everything good. You see, let me tell you, Bubbler. Once you know the Almighty, and once the Almighty in you, don't worry about the rest. Know me, King? Once the Almighty in you, don't worry about the rest. It took me a while to truly embrace that lesson. And I never have it all a while. But right now, like I tell somebody, somebody me tell the other day, people, things that surprise me and so. When I see things happen and so, me just say, that's the Lord's word fulfilling itself. You know what I mean? The Bible says nothing lasts forever but the word of God. That's just what the Bible says, and how you to believe it and how to believe it. Nothing lasts forever but the word of God, whatever that might be. So when me see certain things come to an end and that kind of stuff, me just say, the Almighty word is being fulfilled. That's just how we go. Straight across the board when I look at things happening straight across the board. But yeah, Bubbler, well, I heard you might have been yesterday, no? I'm not too, I think it might have been yesterday morning on the program with CJ. Or CJ right here, CJ, and I think it's DJ Z is the gentleman's name. Yes, and I listened to your dissertation, And I kind of figured they may be a parable, you know what I mean? So I said, okay, let me sit down and read the parable. I sat down and listened to it, and I said, you know what? I'm going to share it with the people. Months ago, no, it might have been years now, just before I moved back to where I was. Months ago, years ago now, Bubla, I was the chairman of a particular board. And I can tell you, to 100% of that board was on a particular path. As a matter of fact, some of them been even more strident than me. And I remember saying to them, y'all are going to have a fight with your conscience.
Good night, sir.
1 second here. And when they started fighting with their conscience a few weeks down the line, I tell them, I can fight with their conscience. Good night, caller.
How can you fight with your conscience, sir?
How can you?
Fight with your conscience, sir.
How can you fight with your
Can I ask you a
conscience?
question before, how can you fight with your conscience? What's your conscience, sir?
That inner voice that talks to you.
What's the inner voice that talks to you?
Well, if you never hear it, then you're not a conscience.
I got it in the voice.
Oh, okay.
Yes, all good. Bob Lawrence, I'm a prophet that. You see, you're Malcolm X, you're King Truth, it's all good. You know what I mean? I asked you the question 2 times, you know what I mean? What is in the conscience? See, Bob Lawrence tell you conscience. You see, reality, you have to face reality. It's all about love. If we don't have love, there's no world. You understand what I'm saying? Good night. I don't have much time to talk, really, because I'm a guy always in my shower. But since I hear Bob Law, fuck a take. Bob, good night, you and your wife, eh? Bob live in the bush, right? I think he has current, because he can't call me so fast. Because Shadow now, he live in the jungle. He chances a radio. And some of the people, I'm tomorrow morning, I'm big something tomorrow morning, you know. You know who will talk to you?
No, I don't.
So what's your name, sir?
Dave Joseph.
Dave, what kind of program you have, sir?
A conscious program.
Well, me come conscious to you, partner, straight up. So Dave, how the consciousness is going on with you?
Be good.
And how really to stand with you in really the ways of lifestyle?
We think we know everything that'll go on.
You think you know everything will go on?
I think so.
You can top all the war going up there in Israel and please, you don't know everything will go on, partner.
We don't know if that can done.
You look here. Let me tell you something. I just say you can't done. And it start in the beginning. The Bible never lied. Let me tell you something. Remember Cain and Abel?
Yeah.
Okay. They never start a fight, them a fight?
Yeah.
You remember in the beginning, I tell you again, that you may understand. You remember King Saul? You remember? And he put Solomon. I mean, he put David. It's a thing, it's a bloodline. So now we're in the last thing of reality. Okay? Jesus Christ is the last prophet that we see walk as flesh. The King of Kings, Lord of Lords, come like to live in the God, the Christ ruler. Bob and Bob, I love you, Malcolm X, Malcolm X. Anyway, all I'm trying to say, nobody can serve the world and stop the war, type of thing, until we people get together and solve it. Because I'm go toilet, me go toilet. It must be disabled or not, but no more want to do something. You know, we have to stop this thing. If we don't stop it, keep on the rail, it's not going to work. Bob, I would love Bob, because he's a big side now. Funny man, I can't use the word for me, so what kind of money we. Anyway, I'm telling you, it's all good. First, I'm calling for the program. I was in my shower. I'm a guy living in Balalulu. Call me homeboy.
Wait, Balalulu?
Yeah, well,
I long them in here for you.
But yeah, I'm in current now. Balu, me living in Balu, I'm current. I'm in water guy. I'm in water. I have a reservoir, I can summon to and take a water shot it. Me a water and
so wait, say they go in the shower? You're not going in the shower?
When we're going, we have to go in the shower. You show me that when you ram.
Hey, see you later.
I'd love to be.
Thank you.
Can you play a song for me, man?
What the song be?
The song is One Love.
By who?
Forget about the One Love. Let me give you a song. Bob Marley sing White War. Even War. Anyone about Marley song that sing that sister, you know what I mean? The song that make peace. Because it's, you know what I mean? Let's live in Bob and Bob. Funny guy in the peaks right now.
Mandalulu, take care.
All right. Bobla, love you, brother.
Like them in here. this gentleman advice. I was asking somebody about him the other day. The boy long time in here on the Lulu, but you sound a little different. You sound you know. Okay. Where was I? Okay. I was talking about what I heard today, and I just saw a WhatsApp came in that says, Beef, you don't find the PM trying to switch his tone this week? Let me touch on what I would have heard last week, and persons can decide to themselves what they think.
There are 3 others in which immediate action will be taken against management in 3 other statutory organizations. One of them, 2 senior members of management, another one, a single member. And I can say too that there's a 4th one. That particular person knows, I don't want to call it gender, so I may figure it out. But that person is so obnoxious and rude that I'm telling that person, if you continue to undermine the government, you're going to be in trouble. The board took a decision to fire her recently, because since where's her? We don't let go the gender. The board took a decision. No. The board took a decision to fire her early in this year for poor performance. And a particular minister said, you know what, give her a chance. Renew a contract, give her 6 months
to shape up.
By the way, her contract was expired since last year. She hasn't signed it up to now. Because even though she has not performed to their satisfaction, she's demanding an increase.
I'm going to pull back this one a little bit. Where is it? Let me see.
Noxious and rude. That I'm telling that person, if you continue.
All right. Listen good, right? Listen good. Not only to the voice in front, listen to the voice behind too.
Continue to undermine the government, you're going to be in trouble. The board took a decision to fire her recently, because since, where's her? We don't let go the gender. The board took a decision. No. The
man, you're get into trouble later.
Board took a decision to fire her early in this year for poor performance. And a particular minister said, you know what, give her a chance. Renew a contract, give her 6 months
to shape up.
By the way, her contract was expired since last year. She hasn't signed it up to now. Because even though she has not performed to their satisfaction, she's demanding an increase. She came to me, and she said to me, oh, Telemac making $27,000 a month. The lady at CIP, she's making $25,000. I want an increase. I said to her, well, my dear, if there's any comfort to you, the Prime Minister makes $12,500 a month. Rude, obnoxious girl. And I had an experience with her yesterday, in which I asked her to address a particular issue. I don't want to say what it is, because you all know exactly who she is. But I know that I feel barefaced enough. If the board fires her, to come public and say victimization, and I will deal with her then. I asked her to deal with a particular situation in which a compromise was required. It involves PLH. And Justin said to me they had a particular expert that can do a particular study in order to facilitate a particular situation. Called her up, tried to sell her the idea, all kind of resistance. Said, okay, try your best. I even said to her, look, the company that is coming to do the survey, can you ask them if they can even shave off a week to come a little earlier? Oh, it can't be done. I said, why it can't be done? Because I have spoken to them for 2 weeks. So I said, even if you have spoken to them for 2 weeks, can't you say to them that this matter has now been elevated to the level of the Prime Minister and therefore would like you to give it your urgent attention? No, I don't know. I said, what do you mean you don't know? I said, what do we have to lose? Anyway, the conversation ended amicably.
Let me pull back this a little bit again. Because remember, the what should I say now? We are trying to figure out who the person is because names have not been called. And if the name not called, I'm going to say nothing about you. If you pick it up, it's your business. So we know it's a female so far.
A compromise was required. It involves PLH. And you
oh,
know
boy.
exactly who she is.
Right.
But know that I feel barefaced enough. If the board fires her to come public and say victimization, and I will deal with her then. I asked it to deal with a particular situation in which a compromise was required.
All right. So then we know that the person who is being referred to was asked, well, they occupy a position that they can have a discussion with PLH, which might be the biggest investment over in Barbuda, and I think I would have heard before, the biggest such investment in the Caribbean. So we now know that this PLH company, or the PLH company, is seeking to have a compromise with the person. Remember, I'll try to see even if a reasonable person can deduce who the person is.
Involves PLH, and Justin said to me they had a particular expert that can do a particular study in order to facilitate a particular situation. Called her up, tried to sell her the idea, all kind of resistance. Said, okay, try your best. I even said to her, look, the company that is coming to do the survey, can you ask them if they can even shave off a week to come a little earlier? Oh, it can't be done. I said, why it can't be done? Because I have spoken to them for 2 weeks. So I said, even if you have spoken to them for 2 weeks, can't you say to them that this matter has now been elevated to the level of the Prime Minister and therefore would like you to give it your urgent attention? Oh, I don't know. I said, what do you mean you don't know? I said, what do we have to lose? Anyway, the conversation ended amicably. And I said, okay, look, try and see what you can do. She said, okay. Call her back, because Justin of PLH and said to me, hey, I have a firm that can do this survey for 5 times, a factor of 5 less than how much her firm is going to do it for. So that firm is
the amount.
50,000 US. Her firm quoted 250 US. Her position is that Justin's firm or PLH firm can't do the job, even though they are authorized or licensed by ICAO.
All right. What or who is ICAO? I think that from what I would have heard or learned, ICAO is some kind of body to deal with something to do with aviation. That's what I would have learned. So we put a female corresponding with PLH about a survey, and the PLH persons are authorized by ICAO. PLH, I think, is a hotel. So hotel by itself into aviation. Continue.
Anyway, I called her back a second time and said, well, look, Justin insists that they can do the job. And even if they don't do that particular survey, they can outsource it. My understanding, they're going to be on the ground here in Antigua next week doing some work for the airport authority. So already, you're...
Boom. So, the company is going to be here doing some work with the airport authority. So we now know is a female talking to PLH about a survey with a company authorized by ICAO, and that company is doing some work in Antigua for the airport authority.
Dealing with them, so it's a reputable firm. I said to her, assuming that we can get all of the necessary verifications from the various officials, from ECA, from the aerodrome superintendent and so on, I said, can we consider them so that we can get it done more expeditiously and cheaper? Oh, you're going to listen white man ahead of me? What? Yes, one of our public servants raised a voice at me. And I said, hey, hold on a second. I am not your child. Don't raise your voice at me. I kind of raised my voice too. She went higher. Well, you don't raise your voice at me either.
All right, so the question is, can a reasonable person draw an inference as to who the person is that the Prime Minister is speaking about? And the reason why I said the Prime Minister, under other circumstances I would have said what the Speaker was speaking about. I would not have said the Prime Minister. But why I said the Prime Minister, remember, we're having this conversation against the backdrop of somebody might be claiming that they're constructively dismissed, and what constructive dismissal is. So, if you hear a prime minister saying certain things about an employee, and that employee resigns citing constructive dismissal, is that a reasonable position to take? Bear in mind that today I'm hearing, and I don't agree with it, but I'm just telling you what I'm hearing, that it seems to be the belief that politicians should head or is the head of government departments on a day-to-day basis. I don't agree with that, but that's what I heard today. And to go one step further, if that is true, I've heard persons say all the while that the Prime Minister is the first or has no equal in his cabinet. I think I've heard something that, or he's the first among equals in cabinet, something to that effect. But which means that in the cabinet, the Prime Minister is the head. So all the ministers in them are subordinate to the Prime Minister. Just keep all of that in the caboose in relation to coming back to being the allegation of being constructively dismissed.
People believe that just having the technical skills, and I don't know that that particular person necessarily qualified in the field in which she's CEO. That's another issue there. But they believe if they have some kind of technical skills, even if it's not relevant to their job, that they can be rude, they can be obnoxious, they have no respect for authority, and they feel they can do as they like. Maybe they believe that politicians come and politicians go.
Have you, as a reasonable person, been able to deduce who, or the subject, the person who might have been spoken about at that point in time, right? And I could go more, but I don't think I'm going to go no further with that. I think well, it's for persons out there to decide for themselves. It's for persons out there to decide for themselves. Even a reasonable person can deduce from what is being told or what was being said as to whom that person might be, and if that is so, whether or not that person is justified in taking the position that she was basically constructively dismissed by what was being said of her by the Prime Minister, or that the working relationship have been so tarnished that a reasonable person could not believe or would have believed that she would have all but have been fired based on what was being said. We'll watch that space. If it goes to court, if it doesn't go to court, then that remains out there. But if it goes to court, we will watch and see what a court would think as to whether or not there's enough that was being said. And I mean, there's more to the recording that I'm sure will be entered into evidence as to whether or not the person was being referred to. Time in studio is 6 minutes after 10. Gonna take a quick break and I will be right back.
We live carefree in this country while our youths are drifting slowly, while we're heading for depression. Don't you see our problem? If somebody don't help them, they will drift on endlessly, and so will this country. They are the fruits of the nation and its salvation. Our future lies in their hand. They are tomorrow's leaders, so we must make sure that our children stand. Wake the youth, I sleep in country. Wake them, let them rise and shine. Teach them that They are drifting, they are wasting. Utilize them, or we lose them. Unemployment leaves no alternative but to walk and wonder, line deep bed. And some policemen are ever willing to beat and shoot out young men, frustrated and angry, degraded and hungry. Brother, they like the street in a trance. Tell me how can they excel in this country if they're not given a chance? Ah, wake the youth, my sleeping country. Wake them, let them rise and shine. Teach them thy truth that they might see that to save a dying world is their destiny to be. Raise up, stand up for your country. Forward on, forward on. Forward on, forward on. Awake the youths, my sleeping country. Wake them, let them rise and shine. Wake them before they grow too old to care. Motivate them, stimulate them, meet the challenge that confronts them. Let's not sit and watch them waste away. Let us rise and conquer greed and selfishness and make life easier.
Hey, what's up, Mr. Bailey? Hey, bless up yourself, man.
These youths watch our actions and our intentions, and brother, they can plainly see all that money we are wasting. Won't increase production, but will only suppress liberty. Ah, wake the youths, my sleeping country. Wake them, let them rise and shine. Teach them thy truth that they might see that to save a dying world is their destiny to be. Raise up, stand up for your country. Forward on, forward on. Forward on, forward on.
I'm just going through the comments on the Facebook live feed. Hey, somebody Hyacinth Smith says, B, if you know your letter is Nayuka, the big comrade daughter. No, I don't know the person Nayuka. I don't. Maybe if I see the person, but I don't recognize the name.
Liberate them, activate them, end suppression and exploitation. Let our investments be the youths of this land, and all our aspirations, all our hopes and goals, and all our dreams and wildest.
Hey, somebody tell me how lie close to she. That's what me here. Hey, big up yourself, King. Hey, and as I say that, let me say good night to my good friend Gavin. Hey, big up yourself, King. Hey.
Elaine and Dad's Joseph Consultancy. We consult on labor relation matters, insurance, business matters, and politics. P.O. Box 2287, Francis Lane, Yorks Village, St. John's, Antigua Barbuda. Our email address, it's elaineanddadsjoseph@gmail.com. Telephone numbers 776-0200 or 464-4201. Contact us. We are here for you.
From a little cottage in number 3 Casada Gardens hails Rags to Rugs. 100% handmade Antiguan interwoven rag rugs by J. Lisa Lewis. We have various sizes of floor rugs, decorative wall hanging rugs, and table mats, uniquely and sustainably handmade. To purchase, send us a message via WhatsApp at 268-770-8088 for directions to our physical location, or we can deliver to you anywhere on Antigua absolutely free. Like and follow us on Facebook at Rags to Rugs Antigua and Maid, on Instagram Rags to Rugs, or you can email us at ragstorugs@gmail.com. Don't forget, our rag rugs and table mats are machine washable and dryable. See you soon.
You can hear them now in their bad talking, saying, look, shorty backsliding. He became a Christian a few years ago. Now we gone back to sing calypso. They were taught to believe calypso is a bad thing. Country jazz and soul were God living. Other people's culture they appreciating. Why they own they degrading? Nothing wrong with the music, the rhythm and the melody. Calypso is part of our culture that I hold very dear to me. So before you criticize what you don't understand, remember music is a gift from God to man. So the only thing wrong with any song I say is the message that the words convey. A doctor, a lawyer, I will never be. I don't have the education, but singing calypso is God's gift to me. So don't you criticize my action. I will use my talent to advise the children on the best ways to cope with today's problems. I will sing to them about drugs, AIDS, and crime to turn them back and keep them in line. Nothing wrong with the music,
Babadim badim bambalim bam.
the rhythm and the melody.
Hey, sorry about that. I'll just line up some things. Yeah, welcome back to Real Talk. Hey, right here on ZDK Liberty Radio 97.1. Time in studio. 16 minutes after the 10 p.m. hour.
Criticize what you don't understand. Remember, music is a gift from God to man. So the only thing wrong with any song I say is the message that the words convey. Some people always have other folks confused with their different ideas and views. They say a Christian should not sing calypso, but it's okay to listen on the radio. They are so hypocritical, they love to cause trouble. Suddenly they discover charity and the Bible. Other people's lives they are controlling, but it's a message that I am bringing. Nothing wrong with the music, the rhythm and the melody. Calypso is part of our culture that I hold very dear to me. So before you criticize what you don't understand, remember music is a gift from God to man. So the only thing wrong with any song I say is the message that the words convey.
Alright, sorry about that. My computer just went haywire. So I'm just getting some things sorted back out. Anyway, I'm up now.
You have not as human.
Yes, man, it's the message in the music.
God sent his only begotten Son, so that we all may be forgiven.
Bambilim, bidim, bam, bidim, bam.
Not ask you to judge your fellow man. When all of us are in the same position, remove the beam from your own eyes and stand in line before you take this straw out of mine. Nothing wrong with the music,
Bim, bidim, bim.
the rhythm or the melody. Calypso is part of our
Hey, I'm gonna want that help me out here.
I hold very
Hey, remember, I'm gonna go to Bubbler Parable. I think I understand Bubbler Parable. But let me see if I can get some help, if anybody might want to help me. At the end of it, you can call me 462-1100. Or you could WhatsApp me at 464-4201. I'm gonna play parables, you know what I mean? But no, I'm gonna stick into the local song for tonight. I'm not going regional at all, so I'm not going to go with parables. But I would have introduced the parable with the song parables, but no, here we go.
Good morning, Bubbler. What's happening, buddy?
Boy, I'm there now.
Talk to me.
I'm there. But I have some problems.
Some problems?
Yeah.
Take it to the Lord in prayer.
Well, I only hear me carry my problem too. But at least I can express myself down here.
Of course.
And make people know how I feel. Yeah? That's what I think my rights give me, to do everything and do it with respect, No disrespect to nobody. Whosoever, whatsoever that I may say, there is no disrespect to no one, Yeah, but first thing first. CJ, me see some things that happen, and if you notice, I'm going to really call the radio much now. It was happening even before the voice has gone, but since he has gone, it even becomes more worse for me if you call the radio. Because I don't really have no backup. See, when you're not backup, in a manner sense, try to be too much involved in the things, because they will come up against you.
What you say when you reach this point that you call the radio, it really gone too far?
Huh?
What you say when you reach this point when you call the radio, it really gone too far?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, it's just that I don't think we can hold it down anymore, but you know, I could be as frequent as how he used to be with me.
I understand. Go ahead. Let me hear what you got to say.
I go read the program and them much, because you see what happened, But first thing first, you look at some things in my country that I think need Antigua people attention and our concern, yeah? Apart that, may hear the people cry. All over I go, may hear the people cry. Why the people cry? Mr. Brown wicked, Cutie Benjamin wicked, Marion Joseph wicked, Robin wicked. I would just say that them talk about all the old soldiers and them, right? The old boys and them. Yeah, but watch this. Me want the people in them to know. I want them to tell them this. I open my eye, please. If I think that them man mean wicked, right? I don't see no wickedness yet. Wickedness just begin. You see the young boy that I got to come, and that's why I tell me now companies radio much, because in Antigua, for you to deal with politician, right, and for have any affiliation with politician, you have to see and say anything that is wrong is right. You want me to repeat that?
Say what?
Would you like me to repeat that?
No, by all means. I'm trying to understand what you're saying.
I am saying, for the politicians that we are having now, the new ones and them that will come too, them will come now. If you want to be an Antiguan, not only by birth, but by rights, if you want to be an Antiguan, you have to be affiliated with them, and anything that you see that is wrong, you have to call it right.
I wouldn't back that one there, because
no, why you back not that me say?
Me talk frank. If I see,
I don't call this radio station for no one to back things that I said.
If I see a pig, I call it a pig.
I just call a spade a spade.
Hey, let me just hold on a second. We just want to pull back a little bit. Remember our problem, right? So remember, Bubble say, the new politicians who come, if I think, wow, we call wicked, when the new politicians come, I'll go see wicked. But then Bubble say, if you know, the next part now after that, nowadays ever say, no, let me play.
By birth, but by rights. If you want to be an Antiguan, you have to be affiliated with them, and anything that you see that is wrong, you have to call it right.
I wouldn't back that one there, because
no, why you back not that me
talk frank. If I see,
I don't call
hey,
it.
Bubble, I'm going to think of the new politician name in the top. So I'm going to think me decipher the parable.
This radio station for no one to back things that I said.
If I see a pig, I call it a pig.
I just call a spade, and that's what I said. That's how I am. So I don't want you to agree with me nowhere along the line. Just allow me to say what I'm saying, that I can get off the radio. You see?
Go ahead.
Because that if you can't see things wrong, and say I'm right, you can't, you have no say in this country here. None whatsoever. And furthermore, more if you know this, if you come up against that man, whether that man wrong or that right, you not no place in this country, your family not no rights in this country, your children and them even get spite even in school. And who going to say carry on out, you know, me make you know that now. Me can tell her, and me can come to the forefront, but me make her know that me don't see what happen right now. And as Antiguans, we have to be careful what we say and how we travel in our country. Because for our voice not needed no more. No. We are not needed. And the time that we are needed is just the time when it becomes election time. And that is the time when we are recognized as Antiguan. Yeah? But
Hey, hold on there again. I'm going to pull back a little bit. Because when I think Bubla talk to the young politicians and them, I don't think so. Work out the parable, Bubla.
Way along the line. Just allow me to say what I'm saying that I can get off the radio. You see?
Go ahead.
Yeah, because that if you can't see things wrong and say I'm right, you can't, you have no say in this country here. None whatsoever. And furthermore, more if you know this, if you come up against that man, whether that man wrong or that right, you not no place in this country, your family not no rights in this country, your children and them even get spite even in school. None whatsoever. And furthermore, more if you know this, if you come up against that man, whether that man wrong or that right, clear? None whatsoever. And furthermore, more if you know this, if you come up against that man, whether that man wrong or that right, you not no place in this country, your family not no rights in this country, your children and them even get spite even in school. And who going to say carry on out, you know, me make you know that now. Me can tell her, and me can come to the forefront, but me make her know that me don't see what happen right now. And as Antiguans, we have to be careful what we say and how we travel in our country. Because for our voice not needed no more. No. We are not needed. And the time that we are needed is just the time when it becomes election time. How we travel in our country. Because for our voice not needed no more. No. We are not needed. And the time that we are needed is just the time when it becomes election time. And that is the time when we are recognized as Antiguan. Yeah? But our voice not needed no more. No. We are not needed. And the time that we are needed is just the time when it becomes election time. And that is the time when we are recognized as Antiguan. Yeah? But let me tell you this. One politician will come and beg you one job, me one job. I will give he the job. And he can work for 5 straight years in Antigua without our can tap he from work. But if you go and beg he one job and you get one job from he and you say anything against he, whether a right or wrong, you not one job. Your job is up at stake. He from work. But if you go and beg he one job and you get one job from he and you say anything against he, whether a right or wrong, you not one job.
Wait, are the new politicians you talk, are the new politicians who come here talk about Bubla? I don't think so, but I work with the problem, don't worry.
Job is up at stake. For his job is certain for 5 straight years. Come sure you see that. All out in Antigua, I just talk about, they want to move. But you can't move them before 5 years. But you that get the job, as long as you say anything against them, man, you're not on work and you're not on place. That get the job, as long as you say anything against them, man, you're not on work and you're not on place. That get the job, as long as you say anything against them, man, you're not on work and you're not on place in Antigua.
All right.
Have a good morning, yeah?
Thank you, Lodge. Appreciate it, man.
Cool.
All right.
Hey, I don't really want to come to my local now, but I have to come to my local. Hello, good night, caller.
Hello, good night.
Hey, where's the Bubla?
Yeah, you ask some question, but me can answer that because me talk that.
We know that.
So me can answer that.
Yes, man.
Yeah? Which what me try to say is that the people in the country we try to define everywhere I go, that's what I say me here. But me see things different, me say. It's hard to see the future. It's hard to see tomorrow. But me see things different. The younger ones in them that will come is going to be more dangerous than the man. So all me tell the people and them, I think that the man have done all much wrong yet. Just wait.
So you believe the young ones never come? If when they come, they get out, they get a job, they get a job, and our targets them. And our family now give them Antigua.
Well, as me done say now, a time will tell, but I want to back up on something that you say.
Got you.
That I'm in that play. On tape with Mr. Brown.
Yeah, which one? Which one?
When you talk about couple people, they have to go home.
Okay.
Yeah?
Mm.
Let me tell you this, Beef.
You know any female in Antigua head of an organization that have to do something to do with plane and so over Barbuda? Up at the airport authority?
No, I don't know much people up there now.
Okay, all right.
No, I don't know much people up there. But listen what I say to you.
Got you.
I'm not talking about that situation with Mr. Brown and the young lady alone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking on a broad scale.
No, me understand that now. Me no believe when I played what you played. What you said. Me no believe you talk about that situation up there.
No, what me gonna say now?
No, okay,
why
right.
Play with Mr. Brown, that very much concern me.
Right, behind you.
Yeah? Very much concern me. Why it concern me? Because Beef, as one Antiguan, I live here, I not gone away. I just started work for government 8 years now, But my outside of work on the other field and them. On all the big construction team that come to Antigua. Furthermore, I see them 2 times and I can see them tonight again. I done work for the second biggest construction company around the world. If you look in the phone book, any old phone book that Mason Product have, you will see one company they name Ballas Needham. They come from Holland. They are the second biggest construction company around the world. Yeah? But me say this to say that. Beef, when I go out, they go work. And how we work with them, man. You don't want to see how I have to work. You don't want to see the hours in them that I have to put in. Forget how to pay. You hear? And as an Antiguan, me can talk, feel, squeal, loud and proud that once you work for government, me see them even before me go in there. Yeah? Me gone heritage ki gone work and me try my best for just even help that situation. Just little man elevate themselves and let them know well than that. Hey, and a Gaston Brown own Antigua. And a Gaston Brown get paid when Friday come. And you get paid, my brother. And anything you do them with passion. Do them with pride. Now do them and do them like you don't want to do them because it don't make no sense. And as I'm saying now, I'm ready to some tea this afternoon again. Whatever decision that he make, that's a full he decision, right? And he ain't one big man. Yeah? But let me tell you this. And you're not going to hear that. What I'm going to tell you. Come on, I tape everything, I'm glad. Because me now make a mistake in what me say. Is this. If Mr. Brown do what me tell you to do, he never do what me tell you to do. No, he and me a big man of himself, he can think for himself. Just like what you do. Who for go home, I for go home. If bubbler for go home, send one bubbler. Because me not above nothing. And no affiliation that me have should really make no difference when it comes to my work. You check what me say?
Mm-hmm.
Right. But watch this. They come to you. Hold on a second.
Oh, yes, the time now in studio is 10:32, 28 minutes before the 11th. Yeah, go ahead, you go ahead, do what you do. And I'm here having a little chat with Bubbler. Go to Bubbler.
Hear what me say. Whatever decision that you make, that's a free decision. And me can't vex with you. But listen what I'm saying to you. As a man who the head of any country, you don't even have to be in the country. If you get one job, Beef, for do, if you work a mill reef, and we've put you in a position. Yeah? And your position is to see to it that Bobla and Bobla wife go out there and get this job done. And Bobla make the work become stagnant. Remember morning is a talk about me now, no. But how we picture Antigua people who work for government. You know what me say, Chuck? And how we make the work become stagnant. The people no work now gone away. The work now done and nothing now get do. But people get paid. In any circumstance in the country, people still get them paid. Whether late, early or what, you get paid. But you're just standing in the way. And I'm being stumbling block in the way. I call you, I talk to you. Remember I say the whole Antigua I talk about no, the people that work for government because of them and the people he can deal with, he can't deal with private sector. You check? Right. Now I call you, I talk to you. I come on my radio, just like plenty and I like. But, hey, I want the biggest thing ever happened to Antigua. I'm the first Prime Minister me ever can talk to. I only can see Lester Bird and shake their hand. So Lester and shake them hand and so on. But me can interact with this man, yeah. And that's what all I should have glad for. But what's what happened? How we work and how we make the work be stagnant and you stand in the way. And the work now gone away. Right? And the boss call you and tell you, Beef, you supervise the job. And you run the job. The job look to you like it a go right. You tell me, no boss. So if you now go right, what you going to do? All right, I'm going to go back out there. I'm going to make things right. And you go back out there and the same thing happen. What you think the boss supposed to do?
Get rid of me.
Oh, are you said so now?
Yeah. But let me ask you a question now.
One tape, are you
No,
tape,
yeah,
people
man,
tape you know, you tape yourself. so-
Everybody tape right.
So
Get
be
rid of me.
careful.
But let me ask you a question. If me give you one job,
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you in charge of that 10 man here. Right? And you build house.
Yeah.
You put in fixtures and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, carpenter man be.
Right. And the man and them come and work. The man who you in charge of come and work.
Yeah.
And they smoke, then drink, then they do the work. Then take up the people and them, the material that you're responsible for.
Yeah.
They take up the material and them and so. Right? And you go and you talk to them and tell them, look man, I get them blind for do I something for get better and why I get better. Do the work. When it be at lunchtime, I do what I do. Put in some time on the work that I can get some because I will hold up people house that they can't get a house or so. And you talk to them 2, 3, 4, 5 times. And they come to a position where they say, you know what? Okay, I have to send you home. Right? And the man that employ you, then I tell you, or bring them back to you and tell you, hey, you can't fire them. You believe they should have fired the man that hire you?
Even should fire the man that hire me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Remember how we tip?
Yeah, me know what about that.
Okay, good. But that's
Yeah,
what
yeah,
that's how
let
great
me
it
tell-
is.
let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Me have one responsibility, you have one responsibility.
No, me agree with you know. I only want to share the two. I only want to share the two side of the
I
kind.
have somebody bigger for talk to.
Okay, good. So,
Understand that?
so the person, even who is the biggest, you can get rid of them by the democratic process too. If you believe they're not doing their work.
Yes, most naturally.
Okay, good. All right.
Most naturally.
Me and you.
Right, and you see.
And that me like you know.
And let me say this
That
to
me
you.
like you.
And let me say this to you. This I want to make you push the question to me. I'm going to tell you what happened. You know what I just said a little while?
Go ahead.
What I just said a little while, right? That's what caused Mr. Brown to do what you do. Because now that the smaller man, the man, not you can't call him the smaller man. The media person, the medium peer person, who is the media person in between? What? I'm not eating nothing, baby. I'm talking on the phone. You
Yes.
know what I'm saying? The
Got you.
person who is in the middle now,
Mhm.
who's supposed to see to it that things done right, they didn't do things right. So you have to make me up here now no look right. Look, man, let me tell you something, my brother. I've been to a secondary school, and nobody around Antigua can play with Bubbler easy. None. Nobody. You check? Because all I'm saying to you, my brother, each and every man, all the chief head that Mr. Brown be over area, you know you have all the answer to?
Me know that.
You know that?
Yeah, man.
And do you know that area higher than anybody who he have answer to?
Me know that.
Because the area put in a position they in her.
Me know that no.
So then and therefore, what you try to tell me? Come on, man. Come on. The man, hey, let me tell you this. If, as I say it ready to you, I say again, if Bob have to go home, Bob have to go home. Because look, the man's job is at stake.
No,
He
but
have family to look about.
but suppose. Okay, no. Let me say that way. Let me say them this way. Bobla are the only one who can go home.
No.
You ever see a politician get fired in Antigua?
Yeah, you just ask some big question. Because this is the reason why I say the parable, I'm just say just yesterday now. Right? That we give politicians a job for 5 years. You can't trouble them.
So
All they can do is make nice.
me hear you say that.
I'm going to say
But no,
again.
but no, me not agree with you. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why.
Wait.
I'm gonna tell you why.
Wait. No, I tell me before me say what I'm say.
Go ahead.
Beef. Do you ever see we have move any politician in Antigua before election?
No.
Ever?
No.
So what you trying to tell me now? Go ahead.
Me believe if the majority of Antiguans,
Man, I give a joke to
hold on here. If the majority of Antiguans get up tomorrow,
yeah,
and say, you know, and convince themselves and say, hey, me want to get rid of Bubbler.
Yeah.
Right? Bubbler now sit down one more day in the ministry of wherever.
Yeah.
Me the KY boss say. Either Bubbler go or the boss go. I bet you Bubbler go.
You bet you not?
Okay, well, all right.
You want me bet you not?
Hey,
let me say something, Beef.
make the lad
I will come off quick, but I'll cut one quick one to
Go
you.
ahead.
I'm in the Long Island, right? And they give me like a position over there. We're doing like a job. And we work. Then you have overtime and saying the work, you see? And you have one guy named Ali Colban, a guy that named Charky, for your brother. They come from Villa. You check? And we work. Ali Colban, a title. He decide, look, Villa a go down and Villa needy to go play some football for defend, for back them up and make certain that then top up. He decided now work no overtime this month here. Not only the week but the whole month, cause you know a premier on, you see? And the man a battle. And he say now work no overtime today. And he you know work. And I'll go back to work tomorrow morning. The white man and say that I didn't for work. Can come to me and tell me for work. So I ask them why. Them say, for work because work no overtime yesterday. Let me tell them that no work in Antigua now. They can't just decide that. Do about 200 man by Long Island now. I mean just go back up on this side and just tell them man, yo, the man's a cold bank can't work today now. I mean think all the man and should just put on all and trowel and level and everything I make all this put on the dock and show them out. Tell them to call the boat for carry back home. And all the man and drop them tool and go down on the dock. And the big boss over there, CM, at the CM company. The CM company. Balance me down. Big man come out and ask, what happened? I'll explain to you, man, and tell you, well, I can't work now. Work have to stop and to over that cold ban we instate to work. Because you know don't cause to fire cold ban. And as I say to you, are the second biggest construction company in the world, and I'll tap them the day. Tap them. Then I'll just come in and say, look, guys, go back to work. Mr. Colban will reinstate and everything is good. I'm just trying to show you, my brother, that now because I'm a small man, in a work so. You think Mr. Brown can jump up tomorrow morning and tell St. John's Development for fire bubbler just so, in a no reason. Bubbling a miss work, bubbling a road band work, bubbling a trouble on tourists, bubbling just so. And Antigua people, what you want them? Antigua people go check over that? Hey, Beef, I'll talk next week.
Take care, man.
Yeah.
Yes, the time in studio is 10:43. What am I going to do? I'm going to go with problems. We're not going to problems. I'm going back in Antigua. Let me get some things lined up and get out of here. Hey, Bubbler. The scenario that will put you in terms of the man is drive the 10 man and then I work and them smoking so. And they fire them and they go back and say I can't fire them. Real something that. Alright, I'm just trying to clear off the text, but no, me not some of them some that I have about them, me not reading the pan here. Hey, not me. He like there's something to go on, but I have to ask a question about this boy. I don't know much about the one there. I have to ask first before I say anything. Hello, can I call her?
I tell you about Bubba. I tell you. One eye about Bubba, no. Trouble that draggy. When me hear he talk, right? You ever hear about Malcolm X? One eye about he know. He's a history talker. History maker. He's a creative of certain moral of life. Bubba is a guy that, you know what I mean? I don't know where he get all his knowledge from. I'm going to go by you tomorrow. Come on, we want some sugar apple. Bubba, want some sugar apple? Me give woman sugar apple like that something. And like you get Sharon, you get other people who woman sugar apple. What kind of part you be of me, you're probably not giving me a sugar apple. Okay? Anyway, I'm glad to hear you speak English, and you spoke to you. I'll let you know.
All right, I guess the money run out.
If you'd like to make a call, please hang up and try again.
Just want to make sure I see that man cut off the man. Oh yes, 10:47 p.m. Let me just say thank you to the persons who call and WhatsApp. I can't really read some of their WhatsApp there. I'm sorry about that. I can't really bring them ones up on air. Let me just... Okay, the call dropped out there just now. Call me back if you want to, caller. Before I get out of here. Let me just say thank you also to the silent majority. Those persons who are just going to listen. Not going to say much. But they're listening. Thank you for staying the course with me tonight. Hey, to the online audience, those who have joined us via the World Wide Web, good night, caller.
Hi, Biff.
Hi.
I think that we call Nat Moses ready now as a minister. as an elected official.
Who recall him?
I think it was Baldwin Spencer.
Okay, me look into it tomorrow, but I don't think so.
Because I think he used to building like he was what he was doing with he was talking to Assot and what time I remember Kinex and so. They were his friends and then they like that. Check it out and see.
I will ask a question. I know his sister. His sister work with me at State Insurance, so I'll call her tomorrow and ask her.
Okay, good.
All right, man. Thanks so much, right?
No problem.
Okay, bless. Yes, if it is the Lord's will, I will be back with you next week, Saturday at 8 p.m. Good night, caller.
Hey, Uncle Beef, long time.
Hey, Uncle Beef. What is it, Brother John?
Yeah, man.
Hey, where's the king?
But the man.
Come on, only one man call me Uncle Beef.
Yeah. What's going on?
Me doesn't cool, me not complain. What about yourself?
I'm cool. I'm cool. I don't have much to say tonight. I'm into the show, you know what I mean?
Okay. Well, I'm here. If I'm not sick or nothing, I'm here every Saturday night for 8 o'clock.
Okay, all right then. What time you finish?
I don't have time really.
Okay. Hey, glad to hear voice once more again.
Hey, glad to hear you too, my friend.
All right.
I see a pass when I'm there at the office one time to time blow me. I guess you're going up the road, you know?
Yeah. Well, I just got to the office.
Well, before the rain was there. Before the rain was there, I was there maybe every other day or so. But since the rain come down, you know, because the place wet,
yeah.
I don't want to go across the past few days or so.
Everything is good though.
Yes, we can't complain. The Lord is good.
Thank God for life. Yeah.
I hope the madam is doing, you know, good under the circumstances.
Yeah, man, everything all right still, you know. But next week Saturday night we'll tune in with you, man.
Okay, man, bless up yourself, right?
Every time.
Take care.
And take care of yourself, man. Walk good.
Thanks much, man.
All right.
Walk good. Yes, as I was saying, if it is the Lord's will, I will be back here tomorrow, next week, Saturday night, 8 p.m. Hopefully by then the Privy Council would have ruled in the matter that went before them as to whether these guys have standings or not. That is something that I want to discuss. You know, them topics, they're kind of controversial topic, but not for me. You know where my position is when it comes to the CCJ. So, you know, black court tell a black man and black woman understand if you come to court. Let me see what the white man say. I think my suspicion what they can say. But time will tell. Hey, remember, try and keep as safe as possible. For the ladies who reside alone, burn the little extra electricity. Your security is priority number one. And remember, to keep the Almighty God as your guide. Because once He's in your boat, you can smile at the storm. Never say that you're not going to handle a storm, but you definitely can smile at the storm. So until we come together again, rest well, everybody. Please keep as safe as possible. Bless up.
Don't pull to pieces, pull together. That's the way we should live our lives. Don't hate one another. Love your black brother. You help him, he'll help you rise. To hell with the politicians. Think about about this land, it's your country, and you've got to set it right. Hoping and wishing won't build your country. You have got to raise up and toil day and night. If wishes were horses, beggars would ride. Don't wish for the changing of the tide. Put your shoulders to the wheel. Work, not talk is what we mean. And to build this country, you've got to toil and toil and toil and toil. That's the way we should live our lives. Don't hate one another. Love your black brother. You help him, he'll help you rise. To hell with the politicians. Think about this land, it's your country, and you've got to set it right. Hoping and wishing won't build your country. You have got to raise up and toil day and night. If wishes were horses, beggars would ride. Don't wish for the changing of the tide. Put your shoulders to the wheel. Work, not talk is what we mean. And to build this country, you've got to toil and toil and toil and toil. Get up and get man. God help those who help their own self. We have got a good country with hard work and unity. We can make it like anywhere else. To hell with the politicians. Think about this land, it's your country, and you've got to set it right. Make it a heaven of love and unity, and give back Antigua its lost dignity. If wishes were horses, beggars would ride. Don't wish for the changing of the tide. Put your shoulders to the wheel. Work, not talk is what we need. To build this country, you've got to toil and toil and toil and toil. Yo! Oh, Lord. Raise up and work for ourselves. Like birds and feathers, let we stick together. We can depend on nobody else. To hell with the politicians. Think about this land, it's your country, and you've got to set it right. If we want to move on, we've got to be strong and work and unite now together as one. If wishes were horses, beggars would ride. Don't wish for the changing of the tide. Put your shoulders to the wheel. Work, not talk is what we mean. We build this country, you've got to toil and toil and toil and toil. Yo! Whoa! Hatred and envy. Don't lose the substance for the shadow on the wall. It's not too late to repair Antigua, the damage that we have caused here. Every man for this nation and God for us all. To hell with the politicians. Think about this land, it's your country, and your God said it right. If politicians want revolution, let them go and fight for it. But don't let them blow up your country with their political trick. If wishes were horses, beggars would ride. Don't wish for the changing of the time. Put your shoulders to the wheel, work not talk is what we mean. Little Antigua, you better toil and toil and toil and toil. Yo! Whoa, Lord.
Studios located in the capital city of St. John's, Antigua in the Caribbean Sea.
Okay, stop there.
And our transmitter located at the highest point, Bunny Peak in the parish of St. Mary. This is ZDK Liberty Radio International, 97.1 FM, the People's Radio Station.